And it's just hard to believe that. Let me ask you again here, because I don't know if I got the answer that I was looking for here. But did they really expect a lot of revolt? Did they expect this much revolt regarding health care? I mean, were they expecting riots? Because I know they brought up the term "summer of rage."
I can't answer the summer of rage, but
okay.
Certainly they didn't expect the problems that they're encountering with this health care legislation. In the form that it came, and I don't think everything has been put into the bill that's going to be in it. I think it's going to get torn apart. The congressmen and senators who are at home during this recess, I
don't want to be them right now.
I noticed that they arrogantly just stand up to the people and say, look, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what's good for you. We know better what is good for you than you do. So let us handle it. We've got the experience. Yeah, you got experience, taking payoffs. That's what you get in experience. This is the worst I've ever seen. And I've been around politics for 50 or more years. And it's just dreadful. I mean, the campaign contributions. Most people don't understand if you're running, say, for Congress and you get $50 million and you spend $40 million, that $10 million belongs to you.
Right.
It's a racket. And then you have all these lobbyists running around, and they're arranging dinners and breakfasts and jobs for the nephews and jobs for kids in this particular neighborhood, wherever that may be, and on and on and on. I mean, the corruption is beyond belief. And it's not only in government, but it's on Wall Street, and it's in banking and insurance, and generally in the corporate area. And, I see every day companies getting fined large amounts of money for breaking the law. And you know something? Nobody goes to jail. Nobody admits or denies. The companies pay the fines, and they're chump change. So we have two different scales of justice in America. One for the wealthy and connected, and the other for us. And that's wrong. That's not what America is about.
No, and I'm going to take that one step further here with a totally different topic, but I'll tie it in just a second here, where here is justice, where a company can get fined, $20,000 or $25,000 for hiring illegal aliens and not verifying through card check. I don't know if that's one or if that's the whole company as a whole gets fined $25,000. But regardless, 25 different companies can get fined $25,000 each, and that's $500,000. But yet, someone on the radio just happens to say the word bullshit, and that's $550,000 fine.
Yeah,
I don't see the justice in that. That's just a little. I'm trying to look for the right word here, but it's not American justice from what I'm gathering.
Well, it's current justice, and it's gone so far in law breaking that the Constitution is totally avoided. You talk about constitutional rights to somebody in the House or the Senate, and particularly in the White House. And it's not this administration only; it's the last one as well, and the one before, and the one before, and the one before. It's just lying and corruption are politically and socially acceptable. People look the other way and they say, as long as they leave me alone, I don't care.
Right.
Well, when they go to, get lined up for their swine flu shot and they don't want to take that shot, there'll be those goons there from the National Guard or Homeland Security, which will escort you and your children to a bus, and you'll be taken to an internment camp. And that's what they got all lined up. And you'll be re-educated at that camp. The men will be in one place, the women in the other, and the children in another. And, of course, the kids will be terrified, and they'll terrify them further, just like the Nazis and the Soviets did. and the Chinese communists, of course, who are still in power. The Chinese killed 1 billion of their own people. It shows you what nice characters they are, and we do business with them. And it's just incredible what's gone and is going on, and it's going to get a lot worse. It's not going to get better. And if American people don't get off there and go out and do something about this, they're going to be very unhappy about the course of affairs in their country. And quite frankly, if they don't go out and change things through the process, they're going to become victims of a revolution, because sooner or later the people are going to say, I've had it. And you've got lots of people in America who are older, who have lived their lives. They know they're within 10 or 15 or 20 years of dying, and they got nothing to lose. And so you're going to see some very, very nasty things happen if we can't solve this through our governmental and political system.
Now, Mr. Chapman, this is something that I'm glad you brought up, the internment camp, because I'm sure you saw or heard about the article on WorldNet Daily, or have gone to Monster.com and verified the ad that the National Guard put up on July 16th.
Yeah, I ran that about a week ago.
Right.
In Saturday's issue, and yeah, it's all there. I mean, I don't know how people can miss this thing. I mean, you have to be absolutely dumber than dumb. And of course, I'm running a link tomorrow, which is an interview by Jay Leno, when he interviews people in the streets. And I got to tell you, I'm ashamed at the ignorance of my fellow Americans. It's just awful.
Some people actually believe that Sarah Palin's the vice president to Obama.
Yeah, well, I can believe anything. The ignorance. They live in a different world, and all of a sudden, they're not going to have a job, and unemployment's already 20.8%, and it's going to get a lot worse. And people are going to start to realize that there's something really wrong, and they're going to start listening. So we've got about 2 years here, maybe 3, until we go through hyperinflation in this depression that we're already in, and then we'll go into deflationary depression. And that, if we haven't solved the political problem by then, the country's going to blow sky high.
Right. So let me ask you then about these internment camps. Now, do you feel that they're going to be used immediately after these troops get trained, or do you think that that's just something that they're not exactly keeping on the back burner, but they have other issues to go after right now, such as making sure there's over 100,000 troops in Afghanistan?
Yes, they've just requested 45,000 more, and you have 100,000 mercenaries there.
Right.
So there's now 200,000. They've got to go into Pakistan big time as well. But the first part of what you said had to do with, what was it you said?
The camps?
The camps. I think what they're going to do this time is sufficiently frighten the heck out of people, and they are going to take some people to camps. And I think that it will sufficiently scare everybody else into healing. But what it'll do also, it'll put a fire under 5 to 10% of the people in the country who tend to be militant about things. Mm-hmm. And as you probably know, there's 450 million weapons in the United States. There's 80 million veterans, and 40 million of that 80 million have been in combat. And that's why the president recently has said that the veterans returning and who have returned are potential terrorists in our country. I mean, I can't believe that a president of our country has fallen to such a low level that the people who went off and defended our country are now called terrorists. And they're not very happy about it.
So I'm sure they're not going to be punching Obama's name on 2012 if they're already called a terrorist.
To them, that's irrelevant. They're waiting to see if this thing's going to blow up, and if it is, they're going to have to deal with the veterans.
Right.
And the military either comes to our side, or they're going to have a serious problem. And if they bring in foreign troops, I'll tell the foreign troops right now, and I have on every broadcast I've been on, you ain't going home.
Oh, I can agree with that.
There's another aspect of sending foreign troops into the United States. You take Mexico as an example, which were part of the maneuvers that were going on. And they have 100,000 troops. And quite frankly, they're poorly trained and ignorant. And if they send 50,000 in the United States, first of all, they're not going back. And second of all, there's liable to be a revolution in Mexico.